Hey everybody, sorry for the delay here. Just glanced over at the comments for the first time in a while and saw that there was an issue with the Go Live feature on the YouTube side using a streaming service or software where it was live on that end, but not on the YouTube Live side. So uh, just going to start things from the top and try and get back up to speed. So thank you guys for letting me know that in the comments. Sorry about the delay. Going to do a quick deep dive into some of the core tools of GuruFocus. Kind of your center of gravity around, some of the best ways to leverage the benefits of the platform are going to be our screener tools, our portfolio tools, and our stock summary pages. The screener, just kind of a high level overview, screener is going to be your best way to find stocks. Portfolio is going to be your best way to track and manage both potential and existing investments. And then the summary page is going to be your deep dive into the analyzing of individual stocks. So we'll start with screeners real quick. To get there, you'll go up to the top left corner of your screen with that screeners drop down. If you hover over that, got this whole left column here. Up at the very top, there's that all-in-one screeners link. That's going to bring up a completely blank screener. I like to start here just to kind of explain what a screener is for those that aren't familiar. Right now, since we've got the blank screener pulled up here at the top, it's just a bunch of empty filters. Down at the bottom is the results section. And since we don't have anything in this filter section, it's basically just the universe of stocks down below. But were we to start adding different metrics to these filters, then that would start filtering out all of the stocks from this list that don't meet the qualifications you just gave the screener. So for example, if we come over here to, say, the GF score filter and add an 80 to the left column, that's going to set a minimum GF score of 80. And as we can see, it's going to filter out everything that doesn't meet that GF score qualification. So as you can kind of see here, as you were to continue adding different filters here, that would continue refining that list based on whatever qualities you were interested in, whether that be fundamental based, profitability, growth, price metrics, etc. So you can either pull up the all-in-one screener and start screening things from scratch, or if you hover over the screeners, drop down here on this left-hand column, we have tons of pre-made GuruFocus screens that center around different investing principles. So there should be a little something for everybody. For example, we've got lots of quality-based screeners, dividend-based, growth-based, Guru strategy-based, etc. So if you click on any one of these, for example, I'll click on the high quality and low capex one for now. That's going to preload this screener with all of the filters associated with that particular GuruFocus screen. So now down in the results section, it's going to list just those stocks that meet all of the qualifications of this given screener. So if you want a kind of single view of what all of those qualifications are, up here at the top, we've got the filters separated into different categories to kind of help you parse through some of those. But if you want a single overview of everything running on a given screen, on the right-hand side here, this active filters tab is going to show you everything that's currently running on the screen. So now that we've got that pulled up, we can see all of the metrics that these stocks meet. And it's filtered out everything that doesn't meet those qualifications. And that's from the standard high quality and low capex screen. But now that we've got this pulled up, it's kind of yours to do with as you'd like. So for example, you could change existing metrics, or you could add in entirely new ones as well. So for example, if you were to come in here to the GF valuation and add a few to this, you can see it's automatically updating the results section based on whatever filters you added. And we're now in a custom screen, essentially. So a couple things you could do from here. If you're immediately really happy with the results, you can come up to the top, click this Save button. And once you give it a name, then that screener is going to show up in your My Screens column, as well as in this little drop down here. And if you leave the email alert button checked, you can get notified every time there's a new addition to the results section of your screener. So if a company that didn't previously meet the qualifications of one of your custom screens all of a sudden does, you can get notified of that change. And so that's a great way to set up essentially passive pipelines of opportunities to just get notified every time there's a new stock that meets your investment criteria. But if you're not quite sure enough yet whether you want to click this save button, start making investments based off that, and you are interested in examining the underlying performance of this selection strategy, you can come in and click this back testing button. It's going to be kind of right in between the filters and results section. It's got that little gold P next to it. And what the backtesting function essentially allows you to do is run historical data through this screener and build a hypothetical portfolio using this selection strategy. So all you have to do is click the backtesting button and then give it essentially the criteria that you want to use to build that portfolio. So if we hop back over to the active results section, we can see that there are 37 stocks right now that meet the criteria of this screener in a binary yes or no kind of way. So in the backtesting section, first thing you're going to do is choose the number of stocks you'd like to add to this hypothetical portfolio out of the active results section. So if we go with 10, it'll be a portfolio of 10 stocks, and then how you want to rank them. So of these active results, the stocks that make the results section essentially do or don't pass these qualifications in a binary sense. And then you have to choose how to rank those results afterwards. So by default, here in the active results section, these are going to be ranked by market cap, but you can customize that ranking based on whatever metric you're most interested in or you think is the most valuable, like return on invested capital or growth rank or any number of things. And so you'll want to do the same here in the backtesting setup and decide how you want to choose those top 10, essentially how you define the top 10. So just for sake of example, we'll choose profitability rank. So the top 10 stocks that meet these criteria based on profitability rank. Then you choose the time period you want to test. So right now we'll do 2022 to 2025. And then how often you want to rebalance this hypothetical portfolio with this screener criteria. Then once you get those variables set, you're pretty much good to click go. And then that's going to run a bunch of historical data through the screener here and give you a benchmarked performance overview of how that selection strategy would have performed. So you can see down here in the results section, benchmarked returns, annualized details, risk and return information. And so this is a great way to start zeroing in on the strategy that works best for you. So you can either start completely from scratch or start with a GuruFocus screen and start experimenting and narrowing in on the strategy that works best for you. So if you were to refine one of these screeners to a point you are really happy and confident with, and you wanted to start either tracking these stocks long term or investing in them individually, you could start adding them to portfolios. So super easy way to do that from the screener results here is by clicking on this little plus button right next to the ticker name. And then you can either add it to existing portfolios or create a new portfolio and add it to it that way. So that's going to give you tons of new options. We'll hop into an existing portfolio of mine just to take a look at. So if you start adding stocks to a portfolio, that's going to be a great way to dive a little deeper on the analytics side, as well as a super convenient way to track the performance of stocks long term. So first of all, here in the kind of summary table overview section, got a completely customizable table that's great for analyzing any number of metrics you're interested in. You can just come over here and click this Edit Save button just under the portfolio title, and that's going to allow you to build out a fully customized view. So we've got all these different filter options. There are so many here. Would highly recommend using the search field for anything you're interested in. But once you search that up, just click to add it to your table. And then on this right-hand column is how you would rearrange and remove existing columns. So by default, newly added ones are going to be added to the bottom of this column, which corresponds with the right-hand side of the portfolio table. And to move it over to the left, you would just grab and drag it up the existing column. To remove, just click that little X button. So that's a great way to set up lots of different views for analyzing different metrics for these portfolios. As you can see here, you can set up multiple of them, either multiple custom views, or start with our pre-made GuruFocus views here. For example, got ones built for valuation, analyzing profitability, and so on. So these are also things that you could use as jumping off points and then edit and adjust them from there. But additionally, some of the other portfolio related tools we have under the chart tab here. If you click that, that's going to let you quickly side by side any number of charts you're interested in comparing, whether that be a GF score or financial statement charts or valuation charts, all kinds of great stuff. Essentially, whatever you're interested in, just quickly compare that way. Under the performance tab here is where you can get the same kind of benchmarked performance and return information that you get from the backtesting feature we were just looking at earlier. In order to do that, you would either need to add holdings information to one of your watch lists, so hypothetical purchase dates and things like that, and quantities and whatnot. Or if you click this link a brokerage account button, you can link your actual brokerage account. I have a couple of my own here. And under this performance tab, you can track and analyze the actual performance of your real brokerage account as well. So all these tools we're kind of walking our way through at the moment are available for both your hypothetical watch lists that you build out in GuruFocus, as well as your actual brokerage account. So another tool you can use for the portfolios here would be this alerts tab. And that's going to let you set up customizable alerts for monitoring either a watch list or a portfolio. So if you have a watch list set up of potential investments, you could set different kind of price movement, price target, new earnings transcripts, all kinds of alerts like that to monitor you, to notify you when the price might decrease. And on the flip side, you can set up all kinds of alerts to monitor your existing portfolios for things like also different price targets or valuation levels, or things to monitor your existing portfolios in a defensive way. So you can set up alerts for potential and existing investments with this tool. So this is definitely one to explore because it just takes a lot of the work out of having to monitor those watch lists and portfolios manually. Then one of the other key tools here is the news tab. That's just going to quickly consolidate all of the latest headlines for you based on the stocks in your portfolio. So these last two tabs, the alert and news tabs, super handy tools to leverage at the portfolio level, but those are also tools that we have available at the stock specific level. So if you were to click on any ticker across the site in a portfolio, screen of results, etc., or if you had a specific one in mind that you wanted to research, you could just come up here to the search bar in the top left and type the name of that stock in. That's going to take you to the stock summary page. So the stock summary page is going to be your kind of go-to overview of all the key fundamentals of a company. Up here at the top, you've got hover over the name for a business description, some key stats here, the exchanges it trades on. Then in the middle is going to be the GF score. So GF score is a great tool for just kind of speeding up your research process. It's going to give you a snapshot of a company's overall strength and outperformance potential based on these subcategories here: momentum, value, profitability, growth, and financial strength, and distill all of that down into a single out of 100 rating. The higher the better, as well as breaking that score down into the subsequent subcategories. So if you scroll down just a little bit, you can see that each of these categories has its own individual ranking, so profitability rank, growth, etc. Individual ranking there that you can build into your portfolio tables, screen by, etc., as well as drill down into the individual metrics that makes up each of these subcategory rankings. And if there are any of these metrics here that you're not familiar with or just want some more details on, all you have to do is give that a click. It'll jump you over to a terms page. It'll give you an idea of what a kind of good and bad version of that metric looks like, some history, competitive comparison, all kinds of great details there. So all you have to do is click on any of those metrics there. And then that's just essentially the high level overview. Tons more to dig into on the stock specific level. If you want to drill into the financials yourself, this 30-year financials tab here in the kind of left side of that tab ribbon up towards the top now is where you're going to find decades worth of financial statements like income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, as well as all the per share and valuation data. For any of these line items, just quickly visualize it. You can just click on this green chart icon. And if there's something here, for example, like a valuation metric that you like to use that for some reason you can't find, scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's this add customized field button that if you give that a click, you can build out your own custom expressions to add to the financials as well. And they don't have to live down there at the bottom though. You can also completely customize this table within the web UI. As you can see, I have a few custom views built out. All you have to do is come in here and click this add view button. And then if you click this section order at the kind of high level, it'll let you remove, add, and rearrange all the sections however you'd like. And then same thing down to the line item level. Remove individual sections you're not interested in, rearrange everything. And then once you've got that built out to reflect just the stuff you're interested in, once you give it a name and click save, it'll show up here in your saved views section. And if that's all you want to see or what you always want to see first, you can click the set as default button, and then that'll always be the first thing you see when you click on the 30-year financials button. So if you do a lot of your kind of own financial analysis, this is an exceptionally powerful and customizable tool there. Valuation tab is going to take you into deeper dive of some of our valuation stuff here. Forecast tab is where you'd find analyst ratings, price targets, revenue estimates, all kinds of stuff like that. There's also a built-in DCF calculator for each stock that's fully customizable. So if you like to do a lot of discounted cash flow calculations, this makes that super easy to do. Dividend dividend information here under the dividend tab, if that's something you like to focus on. All kinds of stuff you can filter for there through the screeners, or lots of great pre-made dividend-based screeners as well. Got the newly added bonds tab here. If you like investing in fixed income, got lots of new corporate bond information. Be sure to check out the bond screener as well. If that's something you're highly interested in, you can filter by any of these variables, like the industry of the company, the coupon rate, yield to maturity, the ratings, all kinds of stuff like that. So that's something definitely to check out if you're interested in fixed income investing. The Guru and Insider Trades tab here will give you a breakdown of all of the latest institutional and insider trades regarding this individual stock, both the number and volume of those trades, as well as the standing of the current ownership. The interactive chart here in the middle is how you would kind of quickly and easily visualize anything you wanted, whether that be fundamental or technical indicators. Again, we've got everything kind of sorted into categories here, but the search bar at the top is probably going to be your quickest way to find metrics you're interested in. So like I mentioned, both fundamental and technical indicators, totally customizable, time frame, line series. You can also compare multiple stocks. So we're on NVIDIA right now. If we wanted to compare that with Apple, for example, could just come up here to this compare tab, kind of towards the top middle, and just type in the clicker you were interested in comparing. And you can just stack those on top of each other. And if you get a custom chart all built out that you would like to monitor long-term or come back to frequently, you click this template save button, save that chart as a template. And you can even pin them to your custom homepage and summary dashboards as well. The transcripts tab here is where you'd find all the latest earnings calls, and you can either kind of dive into those yourself or just skim the key points summaries at the top. News section, similar to the news tab, the portfolio tool that we looked at earlier, is just going to consolidate all of the latest headlines, but instead of for your whole portfolio, just for whatever individual stock page you're on. Compare tab lets you quickly compare, also with a customizable table here, a stock with most of its major competitors. And then a bunch of the stuff we've touched on so far is consolidated all into one big PDF that you can download under the stock PDF tab here if you're interested in. So absolutely ton of information here, lots to dig into. Three things that I would kind of recommend before asking if there are any last minute questions as far as kind of like getting comfortable with the platform. Number one is going to be under the education tab here. The tutorials and demo center sections here are going to have lots of great guided walkthroughs of the tools and the platform, how to use them on a pretty granular level. So if you like to learn things at kind of just a self-paced way, that's going to be a great resource there. Another great tool is down here in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You'll see three little blue icons. One in the middle that says AI is going to be our new GuruAI tool. So this is essentially like ChatGPT with better data because it's hooked up to the GuruFocus database instead of just scraping the internet. And you can ask it to do all kinds of things like uh, analyze earnings reports and comb through earnings call transcripts and set up screeners for you, set up interactive charts. So that's something I would definitely encourage playing around with because that should be able to cut your research time a lot by helping you build out some of this stuff instead of having to do it on your own manually. And then last thing I would leave you guys with is for all of our trial and paid members, you're welcome to follow any of these book a meeting or schedule a tutorial links and schedule a one-on-one call with us where we sit down and walk you through the tools individually and help you kind of get them integrated into whatever existing workflows you have and answer all of your individual questions. So that's also something I would highly recommend taking advantage of. But I'll give it a couple more seconds to see if there are any last minute questions. But if not, I wanted to just thank everybody for joining us. Sorry for the delay getting started. Appreciate the comments bringing that to my attention. Hopefully, was able to cobble together some value to be gained here with the walkthrough. But if you have any additional questions down the road, make sure you reach out to us, and we would love to help answer those questions, walk you through the whole platform, help you get value out of GuruFocus because it's such an incredibly powerful platform. So if there are no last minute questions, again, thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.